Okay, so what projects do I take with me on honeymoon? Okay, so welcome back to any returning viewers and to any new viewers, a very warm welcome to you. Regular viewers will know that I am about to get married. As of the time of filming, I have about 6 days. We're going away on honeymoon within a couple of days of the wedding. And obviously I'm going to want to take some projects with me. I have 5 projects that are technically active whips, as opposed to my dormant whips and my hibernating whips and the ones I've forgotten about. But I have 5 projects that, although I haven't worked on them for a few weeks now, these are the ones that I was working on when my mojo disappeared into the sewing machine. So first up, in this Bird and Blend tote bag, I have a wool and cotton blend from Holst Garn. So it's the Holst Coast in a almost finished Tolster tee, sort of. I did have to fudge the numbers somewhat because of my gauge. So I'm doing a striped version with some slip stitches. I'm working on the ribbing. I seem to have lost one of my needle minders, so I have to find that and secure those stitches. Oh, there it is, it's just fallen off as I took it out of the bag. Okay, so I'm working on the bottom ribbing, and then I just have the sleeves to do. Now, I would quite like to be wearing this on honeymoon, so I may have to give myself a kick up the bum and actually get some work done on this over the next few days, see if I can get it finished. I'd certainly be able to get it finished quite early on honeymoon, I would have thought. We're going on a cruise. We have a couple of port days first, and then we have a couple of sea days. And there is a knit and natter slot in the schedule on the boat. So this one will either be finished and coming with me to be worn, or will be coming with me to get finished early on honeymoon. I'm going to try and get it done before. Oh, these stitch minders don't like these needles. I'm on the smaller needles for the ribbing. So, yeah, okay. They just keep falling off. So we're just going to carefully pop that back in the bag. And we're going to put that in easy reach off the chair and see if I can actually get around to doing some knitting once I've finished with today's sewing tasks. So I'll put that to one side. Next up, I think this is a bit of a no-brainer to come with me. So this is a pair of socks. 2 at a time, toe up. They've not been touched for ages. These are in West Yorkshire Spinners Nutcracker, which was one of their Christmas yarns. So I've got gingerbread men stitch minders on the needles. I'm hoping to do a heel flap and gusset on these. So if I can get them to the point of the heels going in, that would be nice before we go, but I don't realistically see that happening. The instructions for the toe up, heel flap and gusset I have on a web page open in a tab on my iPad, so I might have to download those and turn those into a PDF just in case I have internet issues. I shouldn't do, but just to be on the safe side. So I think these are a bit of a no-brainer to come with me, because once they're past the heel, they'll be a nice sort of mindless knit. So, and they're small, so that's helpful. So those will be coming with me. Now, I don't know quite how many projects I should be bringing. We're going for 16 days. We've got 2 days at sea between Ireland and Iceland. We've got 2 or 3 days at sea between Iceland and Greenland. And then we've got 4 days at sea as we come back. So I might need a few projects. The socks will definitely be coming. Hopefully the t-shirt will be finished. You never know, it might not. Certainly won't be blocked before we go, let's be realistic. But then again, one of the jumpers I'm taking might not be blocked either. So that's those. Next up, this is the Barragan wrap from the Knitter magazine, and it's worked flat. I'm on clue 2. This is in like 4 parts over 4 different issues of the magazine. Now I could take this with me and just work on clue 2, get clue 2 done, but I think realistically, given that I'd have to take the magazine as well and that it's lace, that may not be the best project to take with me. So this is going to stay here, I think. So I'll pop that back in its bag. I'm enjoying working on it when I do get around to working on it. But I don't often knit on straight, so it is a bit of a different experience. I used to knit on straights exclusively, but since I've started working on circulars, I tend to prefer those. But I needed the size of needles for they were already on a project, so I had to use straights, which is fine for this project because it's a like scarfy wrap thing. So that's going to sit there. That's going to stay here. Probably not get picked up again until after we're back. That's fine. Now, this is a rather big bag, so I'll probably will have to take this out if I take this project with me and put it in a smaller bag, or take some of the yarn out because I won't get this finished if I take it. So if I take some of the yarn out of the bag, I can then put my other projects in for packing. The bag is lovely. My friend Erin made me this. So this is the Wellsbury sweater. And I am just over halfway through the back of this sweater. So it's an interesting construction. You work 2 panels and join them as you go on the front and the back. So I do enjoy this one because it is unusual, and it's got colour changes going on. So I think if I took maybe half of the yarn, I could probably get the back finished, maybe the front started. But it is, it's worked in Holst Super Soft with mohair. So that's the mohair that I'm holding it with. So if I just take one of each of the Super Soft and some of the mohair, that should be enough for the amount of knitting time I'm going to have. I'm hoping to have more knitting and crochet projects than I can possibly need. So that I've got a bit of picking and choosing to do because it is a longer holiday. I'm not expecting to come back with all of the projects finished. So this I will take some of the yarn and plan to get the back finished and maybe the front started. I don't think I'm going to need all of the yarn I've got in this bag for the sweater anyway. So I bought it as a backup plan for a Stephen West shawl, and I always buy the yardage that he says, which means I always have a ton left over. That's how the yarn for the Tulsa tee came about as well. That's left over from that same shawl. So yes, we'll take some of this, and I might use this bag to pack it in, so I can put smaller project bags inside here and keep everything contained. Because I don't think I'm going to be knitting on the journey down. My dad's driving us down to Southampton, and it's only like 3.5 hours. So I mean, I could knit on the socks. That would be the project I would take to knit on in the car if I'm going to knit on anything. But I don't know if I'll actually knit on the journey down. It depends whether the new husband is sitting in the front or the back, because he will get annoyed if I am knitting in the car. It's a weird thing about knitting on journeys. The other project I'm thinking of taking is a crochet project. So these crochet squares are the start of a Jethro sweater. And I've only got this many so far, and I need 65. So I might take the 4 yarns that I'm using for the squares and my crochet hook. I haven't yet bought the yarn to join them together and knit the sleeves and the cuffs and everything on. But it's going to take a little while to get 65 granny squares. So if I just take the yarn I need for the squares and my example squares and my crochet hook, that'd be a nice sort of change of pace project. So that's 3, potentially 4 projects coming with me, depending on whether I get the Tolster finished or not before I go. I think that's quite reasonable for 2 weeks, because it gives me variety, it gives me choices. And as I say, I'm not expecting to finish any, or certainly not all of them, in the 2 weeks. That would be ridiculous. But if I can make some progress on each of them, that would be good. That being said, I took a pair of socks with me to France when we went to Paris last year, and I did do some work on them, but not a great deal. We went for like a week, And when I went to Buxton for a long weekend, I didn't even touch the knitting that I took. So this is about having options rather than expecting to do lots of knitting and crochet whilst I'm away. That's obviously not the main purpose of the cruise. So yeah, so I'll do a bit of jiggery pokery and condense these down into one project bag for the crochet and the sweater. They can share a bag. Well, I'll probably put the crochet in a smaller bag and then put it inside the bigger bag. And I'll take some of the yarn out of the bigger bag because I don't need to take it all with me. See how far I get the toaster before we go. And the socks can sit in my carry-on, because that's going to mean that I can access them if I need to on the journey down, in the hotel the night before, and yeah, on embarkation day. Yeah, and we'll see how far we get. If I can get past the heels, great. I'm not expecting to get the heels in before we go. Not with under a week. Well, Sunday we sail, so I've got just over a week until we sail. It'd be nice to have the heels in by that point, but realistically, I need to see how far I've got to go before I put the gusset in, because I don't normally do heel flap and gusset on toe up socks. I've done them on top down socks, but I don't often knit top down socks. I prefer toe up. So yeah, so we'll see. So yeah, so I'll leave the socks and the toss out handy. Combine the Wellsbury and the Jethro into one packable package, with space to put the toaster in if I need to. Yeah, that's my plan. Do we think I've got enough? Or do we think I've got too much? I don't know. Okay, so thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I will see you in my next video, which will be the bridesmaid outfits part 1. So looking like 3 or 4 videos for the bridesmaids outfits. They are very nearly finished. Sewing task for today is hemming half circle skirts. And then we just have hand finishing and trimming of loose ends. So we are very nearly there, which is good given the timescale. And yeah, fingers crossed the girls haven't grown since they were last measured. I am taking an emergency sewing kit, and which will include like safety pins and things. So if they have changed size since they were last measured to the point where it's an issue, we've got things to deal with it. They shouldn't have grown as much as to cause it an issue with the skirts, at least. The tops, hopefully there's enough wiggle room for growth in there. Should be, certainly with the twins, because I went up size. Well, from the one that's slightly... The twins are borderline between 2 sizes, so I went for the larger size for the top. So that should be fine. There's a bit of stretch in the lace top, not so much in the camisole, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So whilst I'm confident that I've made the garments to the sizes that were given to me, because the girls live in Bulgaria and we haven't been able to do a proper fitting, it is a bit of... It's slightly nervous. It should be fine. It should be fine. They won't have grown that much. Anywho, as I was saying, that'll be the next few weeks of videos. So they're almost entirely filmed. They obviously need editing once they're done. So there'll be stuff for you whilst I'm away. I will already be married by the time you see the first of those bridesmaid videos. And I will already be back by the time you see the last one. And then once I'm back, I'll catch you up on what I've been working on and roundups and progress on the things I take with me on honeymoon and any souvenirs I get, that kind of thing. May not be the first video back. I might wait till the end of the month just to keep things consistent on the channel. But, yeah, so I will see you next time. And in the meantime, there is this video here that may be of interest to you. But until next time, happy crafting and bye-bye for now.